Good morning and welcome to Gift Friday. I created Gift Friday. Hey, oh yes, this is Sporty King. Where you been? I created it because so often we hear TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. But I say, what allure does Friday have to that person that took their last breath on Thursday? So what I use is what I've learned through Psalm 92 and 2. It is good to proclaim your unfailing love in the morning, your faithfulness in the evening. Wow. In other words, TGIT, not TGIF, but TGIT. Thank God it's today. And then TGIT, thank God it's tonight. Thus, I offer also a different way of looking at TGIF. Let's look at TGIF as trusting God is free. And think about it. What does it cost to be blessed with the greatest gift of the day? And that is waking up. Trusting God is free. And that still moves us into realizing that when we move the T in TGIF to the end, we find what we really must give God thanks for. And that is today. Thus, GIFT is God is for today. Gift Friday is for my online sharing of one of my original poems and its possible uses to inspire audiences virtually and in person. Now, each poem will be my gift to you. Here, you'll hear me read it and share this week's gift. Then you'll be able to click on the link and download your keepsake colorful copy, which I'll drop in after the broadcast is over. In January 1984, I relocated to Chicago, having been promoted through the Wall Street Journal from ad salesperson to Midwest regional advertising sales messenger in classified advertising. And this would be the third city that I lived in while I was at the Journal. I became part of what I call the career mistake. That being, a good salesperson will become a good sales manager instantly. And I grew through two lessons. One, check yourself and check yourself. In other words, redirect. And two, listen, learn, and lead. You see, I had a sales staff of 17 people in 5 cities, 8 salespeople, 8 sales assistants, and one secretary. Five cities: Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Minneapolis, and St. Louis. And I went in thinking that everybody wanted to be just like me. I mean, wasn't that why I was promoted? So with every sales report, I edited, commented on, and sent back showing them how they could be just like me. With every follow-up letter, I edited, commented on, and sent back showing them how they could be more like me. With everything they did, I commented on showing them how they could be more like me. And I was excited about how I was shaping up my staff and helping them grow to be more like me. So after 2 months, I sent out a survey, and I had them. So after 2 months, I sent out a survey to see how we were doing. And I had them send it to a neutral location, and they sent them all to me. Back then, we didn't have the internet. We had these things called typewriters, but actually they were electric typewriters at least, but I had them type it up so I couldn't recognize anybody's handwriting because I wanted to know how I was doing and how we were doing about being more like me. And so I sat down and I was excited to find out how we were doing. And I found out that 15 of my 17 people couldn't stand me. One was on the bubble, and my secretary liked me because she knew what I was doing. She knew that I had a clear heart, that I was trying to just be my best at being a sales manager and thinking that I was doing the right thing. So, what did I have to do? I had to check myself. I had to check myself. And I had always joked about how whether we were on plan A or plan B or plan C or plan Z, and people say, "Well, Sporty, what are you going to do when you get to the end of the alphabet? When you get to letter Z?" I said, "Well, then we'll restart and we'll number the letters because I always believe that there's another plan in hand. So I moved from my management plan A to my management plan B and asked, what motivates you? I brought my salespeople in from the other cities, and I decided to then have a sales meeting. And I sat down. I said, you know what? I've been treating you as a group based on my image of what you should be doing and my image on who I am as a manager. And so I want to start by going around the table, asking each of you what motivates you. And I'm going to start by telling you what motivates me and by reading a poem to you that I wrote called A Motivating Factor. And this poem is from my book, I Found Out I'm Dying, A Celebration of Life. A book about the fact that physically we're all dying from the day we're born. Get over it. One day you won't be here. And I also use the book to show how often we get caught up in the headlines and sometimes miss the subtitles in life, which is where we should be doing a lot of our living. We have to live a lot of our time in the subtitles. See, the headline gets your attention, but the subtitle tells you what's really going on. So I read this poem to them to start out talking about who we are as people, a motivating factor. Poverty motivates me because I've seen it and lived through it. I've touched and in many ways been touched by the sadness of doing or being without. My senses have been penetrated by the horror of surrender, flushed from the mainstream of society, diminished to nothing but a concern, ignored, deplored, unrestored. Poverty motivates me because I've escaped it and lived despite it. Yet, I am not so naive nor too vain to believe that I am beyond it. Poverty motivates me. So what I did, I rechecked myself. And we went around the table and everybody told me what their motivation was. And I listened and learned to lead a wonderful staff of people, not possessions, for my final 6 years at the Journal. I will ever be grateful for the lesson that they taught me as I reflect on the lessons that each of my managers taught me and the lesson my Wall Street Journal career taught me that makes me appreciate my success today. Check yourself and check yourself again. Redirect. Then stop and listen, learn, and you will learn to lead people rather than objects. Plan A should be what motivates you. Once you understand that, only then will you be ready to let someone else work their plan A so that you can find out what motivates them. This is Sporty King. This has been Gift Friday. You can always see any of my broadcasts on sportyking.com, but I'm going to drop this poem in the feed after I get it loaded, and you'll get it as your gift. You have a safe weekend because you know what motivates you. Thank you. God bless you. Over and out. Ciao.